like we're good. Let's see. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. If you guys can hear us, just post in the chat. We're going to get started in about a minute here. And yeah, post in the chat, guys, where you're calling in from. I see a bunch of people in there. See Ash, people asking for where Art is. What's up, Robbie Fernandez? Stephen Brown, what's up, what's up? Jim Ken. Yeah, you can hear us. All right, cool. Let's see. Do a little test, Matt. Do a little test, see if they can hear you.
Hey guys, how are we today? Then
Can you guys hear Matt okay? It's like delayed like 10, 15 seconds. That's the only thing that's weird about YouTube is when you live stream, it's just delayed. All right, so we got the top 5 payouts. Oh man. So yeah, post in the chat where you guys are calling in from. We're gonna get started again in about a minute. We got a lot planned for you guys on the agenda for today's meeting. If you guys see me looking off to the right, it's because I got 2 screens on. I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, they can hear you, right? All right, cool. All right, nice. So we got about 85 people in here, so let's pretty much just get into it. So June has been an eventful month, to say the least. I feel like June has lasted forever. Like June's been a long month for sure. But obviously a lot of things happening inside of the community. For you guys that are in Discord, obviously you guys are keeping up to date, with me posting in there with everything that is going on. If you guys are not in the Discord, definitely get in the Discord, as soon as possible. That's pretty much where we're communicating with everybody. And, when there are issues or updates, giveaways, promotions, that's going to be the best place for you guys to find those out. So yeah, let's get into it. Latest updates about growth, product team, and development plans. As you guys know, I'm Angelo, CEO of TFT. We got Matt here, the COO of TFT. He's been with us about, 6 months? 6 months now, maybe?
my God, this is February, so not quite, almost. I think we're on like
4 or 5
months.
Yeah, we're going on 5
Yeah.
months. So it seems like Matt's been working with us for 5 years, but it's been a ride. So yeah, we're obviously, as always, happy to have Matt on the call. I've been having some internet issues, guys. So if at any point I start getting buggy or anything like that, make sure you guys post up in the chat. So let's get started. So as always, we're gonna start with today's agenda. So we're just gonna go overall over the funded trader, any updates we have, big wins, product updates, stats and metrics, our new Nobility series, which is pretty interesting, what we're doing for the employees of the company. And then we're going to talk about the June giveaway. So we are, again, doing a giveaway on here. I know a lot of people probably are, coming on looking for the giveaway. We're going to announce it at some point during the PowerPoint, so stay tuned. All right, so introduction. We always like to start off the community webinars just giving you guys an introduction to our company. For those that are new, this is extremely important. We want to continue to reinforce, who we are and what we represent. So the vision has always been to provide industry-leading opportunities for successful traders to gain access to additional capital that will allow them to unlock financial freedom. So that's obviously been the vision from day one. And once we start to talk about payouts, it's becoming very clear that we're getting close to accomplishing that vision if we have not already. So we believe everyone and anyone in the world can become a successful trader through proper education, support, risk management, and the community. And these are the pillars of TFT. I think one of the biggest things for us really is the community, and we communicate that over and over and over again. We want to build you guys the best environment, best community that you can to come to and to actually trade and make money, but also to meet other people. For me, that has been an important thing. Meeting similar people that are doing what you're doing, I think that's pretty much priceless. So through our platform, many have built a trading empire. Welcome you in joining us. And yeah, we're going to talk about payouts, later in this, and also payouts for the entire firm So we're definitely at this point helping people get paid, making a huge impact in this industry. And we're going to talk a little bit about what our market share, what TFT's market share currently is compared to some competitors as well, because I think that's getting pretty interesting at this point. So our mission. So our mission is to offer world-class technology, exceptional 24/7 customer support, customer-centric challenges, and become the destination for top talented traders. So all of these things from day one have been the pillars of our company. If you guys have been with us from the beginning, from the point at which we had our first website, you know that we had these different pillars on the site, those little gems for those that do remember. And it was customer support. It was great platforms to trade with. It was customer centric, customer first, and it was that this company is made by traders for traders. And for us to this day, things are adjusting internally a little bit as we start to learn more and get feedback from all of you guys. But we're still trying to offer the best technology that we possibly can. There's always room to improve on that front. 24/7 customer support. We have the Discord, the premium support for the funded traders. We have the regular support for just the general people. And then obviously we have Intercom, we have our website. And Matt can talk a little bit more maybe later on about support overall, because the direction that we're going with that is we're really dialing in kind of our internal processes to support all of these requests that are coming in. And we'll talk about that a bit more later in the presentation. Customer-centric challenges. So this month, we came out with the World Challenge. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the presentation. We're trying to get feedback from you guys, but at the same time, we are trying to obviously release products that are in line with our business. So we're not trying to release a product that's going to ruin the business at the end of the day. So we're trying to get feedback from you guys to put out these challenges and have them make sense for us and for you. And then just become a destination for top talented traders. I say this all the time, guys. You should, people say, oh, should I do FTMO? Should I do my Forex fund? Guys, you should be taking advantage of as much of these opportunities as you possibly can. The opportunities that are available right now online for traders is really insane. And I'm not trying to tell you to only trade with us. At the end of the day, I think that if you wanted to only trade with us because you love our product and our community, I think that that's amazing. But if you did want to take advantage of other opportunities, I think you should as well. So I've always been vocal about that and will continue to communicate that. So our company value. So we're a company anchored in integrity and transparency. That's definitely extremely important, especially in the industry that we are in. I mean, there's so many people that are lying, about what they're doing, trading and whatnot, but also just companies, what they're doing internally. We're trying to be as transparent as we possibly can be. And in doing that, some of the things that we're transparent about, quite frankly, you guys might not agree with or might not even be in the best interest for us at the time to be transparent about. But I think later on, the trust that we'll build by being very honest about everything that we're doing is really what's most important. We're a company with a responsibility to give back to our community. So as you guys know, we do giveaways quite frequently. We're doing giveaways literally every single month, multiple times a month. And for us, I mean, we have the means to do this. And we're going to talk about too the scavenger hunt in NYC. That's going to be coming up. That's going to be a huge kind of giveaway opportunity for people. And yeah, I mean, for us, giving back to the community is just one of the most important pillars of the business. So you guys know that we're not just here to accumulate all this money. Like, we're definitely here to give opportunities to you guys and to give back and everything like that. We're a company that pursues excellence and simplicity in all that we do. So I'm going to let Matt comment on this one because I feel very strongly about this one, but I know Matt does as well. So I'll let you comment on this one.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, core values, we talk about this in every community update, and I don't think it ever gets old. So I appreciate the time and attention on this. So company that pursues excellence and simplicity in all that we do. I think you're going to see a lot of this in the technology upgrades we're going to be releasing here in the next couple of weeks with regards to the new hub, the new dashboard we've got coming out. Not only is it beautifully designed, but it's going to be way easier for people to navigate. We're going to be integrating things. We've shared these updates in our previous community updates as well. But it's important highlighting that this is an ongoing process. There's the concept called Kaizen, right? Continuous improvement. And I think sometimes people can improve things and make them more complicated, more complex through their pursuit of improvement and making things better. I think what TFT really looks at when we go to our development team, our design team, our support team, we're constantly looking at complex systems and saying, how do we make this more simplified for our clients, for our users, for our team, and really make this as much fun as successful as possible for everyone who's involved. So we've got a lot of really cool things coming out that really we're looking at through the lens of these three core values, not just the excellence and simplicity of what we do, but really taking responsibility and giving back, as Angela noted, constantly looking at different giveaways and getting the community involved, and really also supporting the community. I really have to say that I do love our Discord, because a lot of the Discord is our moderators coming in and supporting the team, answering questions. I mean, these moderators come in and they're volunteering for the most part and providing feedback, answering questions, and ultimately helping our support team reduce the efforts of answering questions that are pretty common that our moderators come in and kind of support with. So I think really giving back, obviously, Angelo, the leadership team, it starts from the top down, but the ultimate goal here is that we're creating a culture where everyone is pursuing excellence in their life and in their trading and their relationships. They're simplifying things down, right? In the fog of war, simplify the battlefield, that everyone is taking responsibility and giving back to the community, right? That's important for everyone to be doing. And then having integrity and transparency. Everyone should be living up to those values as well. We really do seek to do that. And we're going to be talking more about in the next slide with regards to showcasing some of the things that have been going on recently that I think a lot of people are familiar with, and kind of our take on it, and just to share what's been going on. So Angela, I don't know if you want to go to the next slide and talk a little bit more about the ACAP issues we've been having. That really is a part of the integrity and transparency we're trying to provide here for the team.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, and thanks obviously Matt for that insight. For us, we're trying to be as transparent as possible, and the rate at which we are growing as a company is almost alarming. Like it's really incredible, the rate at which we are growing. I mean, obviously we're super grateful, for the support that everyone's giving us. But at the same time, this becomes a situation where, as a leadership team, we need to be on top of our stuff, right? We need to really be on top of everything that's going on. There's a lot of moving parts that are within this company, and originally what we talked about a couple community webinars ago was ultimately the success and the longevity of this business does come down to the decision making of the leadership team. I mean, at the end of the day, the leadership team needs to make most of the right decisions when it comes to the infrastructure of the business, and whether that be the brokerage operations, the technology, the customer support, the website, things like that. We really need to make the right decisions. And at the end of the day, if we're not making the right decisions and we're not on top of everything that's going on, ultimately it's going to hurt the business in the long run. And you guys have seen that with some of these other prop firms that have been around. So for us, I mean, we're trying to not only stay on top of everything as much as we can be, but we're also trying to communicate to you guys so you guys know exactly what's going on, because I think if there's issues, especially ones that affect a good amount of people, and there's not a line of communication between ourselves, the leadership team, and the community, it becomes a situation where people aren't going to trust what we're doing and trust the products, and rightfully so. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a trader as well, and I started buying prop firms myself, and I've been in this since 2017 and been with FTMO since 2018, trying to take challenges and get funded accounts. And for me, like, one of the biggest things originally was just, as a customer, as a trader, how do I trust this company? And really it comes down to, how transparent are they and what they're doing? And, we know with some of these other companies, they don't have a community. They're not, putting out as much kind of comms, as things are going on. And I think that ultimately hurts the businesses, hurts other businesses, not just prop firms, but just businesses in general. So for us, when it comes to the 8-cap issue, pretty much, I don't even remember the exact day that this happened, Matt. Was it last Thursday or Friday?
Yeah, I think it was a Friday. They tend to happen on Fridays, Angela. I don't know
It's
why.
great timing. No, so yeah, we had an issue happen on Friday. The thing is, we were pretty perplexed as to what was actually going on because we're pretty on top of everything. Who has access and what updates are happening. And really, ultimately, what ended up happening was one of the 8 cap technicians, they disrupted our service. They accidentally changed the setting in the broker, causing a disconnection to the server. Now, I always want to look at this through a lens of how do we hold ourselves accountable, in these types of situations. And transparently, there's been a lot of back and forth between us and 8cap for different updates that we want, different features, and it's all been through kind of just like this chat and a bit disorganized, in my opinion. As of this past week, we just integrated, and this isn't, for you guys it might not seem like a big deal, but for us it definitely is a big deal. We just integrated a new project management system that we're going to start to track kind of all of our requests with them. This way we all understand 8cap and ourselves. We all understand what needs to be done, what's a priority, and they're not overwhelmed by what they need to do. We're not overwhelmed by what we're expecting them to do. And I think this might help to resolve an issue like this, where maybe they put the wrong person on this process because we were pressuring them to make changes and updates, and maybe that's what actually caused this issue to happen. I don't know. I mean, ultimately, what happened is an 8cap person made a change they weren't supposed to change, and it caused the disconnection. It really is what it is, and that's why it took about 2 hours to sort out, because it was not an easy thing to kind of resolve, because it was really a user type error. So yeah, I mean, it really is what it is. So for us, I mean, what we really did, I mean, we took action right away when this went down. We had support through Discord, we had support through Intercom. As support issues were coming in, we were logging them in our internal project management system for our support team, and they were all then checking out these issues and waiting for obviously us to approve any changes that needed to be made. One thing that I observed kind of during this whole situation is it happened, kind of overnight for EST, for Eastern Time Zone. I wasn't awake until probably like an hour after it happened. We had some of the support team members kind of in the chat, being a little overwhelmed with what was going on. So moving forward, we definitely want a better communication plan when it comes to them just communicating to you guys that they're either waiting for us to get more information, or they're simply just unaware as to what's going on yet. I think that's very important because we want to communicate. I know some things were communicated about internet service providers being down, and ultimately that didn't cover the entire issue, and then people were kind of upset that that was communicated. So for us, we just want to the next time if this does happen, make sure that we're communicating the right thing. That's the most important thing. So we evaluated all the issues. We resolved all the accounts. I think this was resolved like pretty much by the end of the day, which is insane considering there was over like 300 support requests that were coming in. So kudos obviously to the support team for doing this, and Matt, Victoria, who lead the support basically. So you guys definitely helped to clean things up, because it was certainly a fun day, let's say the least. And then we audited and addressed all the causes with 8cap. So obviously we went back to them. Now we're installing tighter protocols for server issues. So the channel of communication with them is very open, as to what's going on moving forward. Pretty much, really what's happening is we are getting so many people that are purchasing these challenges, and it ultimately was putting some stress on the server. And I guess 8cap was trying to shuffle around to get a bit more latency on the server. So really what we're discussing with them right now is how can we essentially upgrade the hosting so that we can get obviously more latency and something like this doesn't happen. So that internally, that's something that we're going through with them, just so that we get the access that we need to continue to expand and support obviously the business. Our key takeaway from this: we definitely trust 8cap as a partner, and we'll continue to support them as our broker. They're giving us the access that we need to really conduct our business operations, and that's what's most important right now. I will say this, we're definitely moving to have our own server. It's just not as easy as 1, 2, 3, especially us being in the US. But that is something that we are definitely exploring to get set up as soon as we can be. So I would say Q3, that's like our goal, is really to shift towards having our own server or some sort of white label with more access. But again, we've communicated this from when 8cap kind of got integrated, is the first step was just to have a gray label with them, what's called a gray label, and then eventually kind of transition into a white label and then transition into having our own server. So that kind of remains the case today. As you can see on the left here, they were actually nice. I'm surprised they actually did this. They were nice enough to type up a pretty much just a letter to our customers, because I know a lot of you guys were reaching out to them through their chat, and they were pretty much like, oh, there's nothing wrong, when there clearly was something wrong, and the issue was basically caused by them. So they were nice enough to type this up. I posted this in the brokerage channel, them just apologizing for what happened and whatnot. So definitely nice, for them to put this together. I really do appreciate that sentiment. But at the end of the day, I mean, really just comes down to we need to continue to get the service that we need to provide you guys the exact service that you guys are signing up for. And yeah, that's really what we're committed for. So I don't know, Matt, if you wanted to comment at all on this.
Yeah, I think, the only thing I'll just kind of end on with regards to the ACAP issue was, in crisis, things like this, it's called crisis management. What it allows us to do is, we never welcome them. We're never sitting here saying, hey, we hope these things happen. But when they do, it's an opportunity to make big upgrades and to really evaluate systems that might be vulnerable. And so for us, we were looking at, okay, we have certain protocols in place with regards to our support team. There's ways for us to optimize this, right? So there's ways for us internally to do a better job with our communications, organizing our team, having better protocols when, we get that first signal of people writing in and letting us know, chain of command communication. So we're in the process right now of locking in our crisis management protocols and basically upgrading them. We already have protocols in place. There's just areas in which we can make some improvements to make sure that we're communicating the appropriate things to our clients, that we're better organized. So again, through challenge, typically, if you come out of it the other end, you come out stronger. And that's how I feel with our support team and our company as a whole. It's really allowing us to look at, okay, what upgrades do we need to make things better? Should this happen again in the future? You always got to plan for the worst. And so we're definitely taking many strides right now to implement, systems, protocols, communication frameworks, all sorts of things to avoid some of the challenges that may have been faced early on in communication with clients when this was going down last week. So I just want to end. Thank you, everyone, for your patience as we work through it. I appreciate everyone's kindness as well with our team. I think we've had a couple people who weren't as kind, and I can get that. It's a frustrating situation, but we always like to say, if things are happening and we're not answering it as quickly as you would hope, please understand that we're at system capacity as well. And we're trying our best to respond, investigate, and to get back to our team. So. Angela, I think we're good on the ACAP issues, and I'm glad you actually spoke about the server, because it was actually a question in the chat window I was going to bring up. Hey, do we have any plans for getting our own server? It's great that you're sharing kind of in Q3. We've got some plans here, so constantly making upgrades, constantly making improvements, and investments in the company.
Yeah, I think that ultimately is what it comes down to. Is as again, guys, the leadership team. I'm specifically looking for ways for us to reinvest in our product, and the server is definitely something that is definitely very important for us to invest in. So I agree, giving you guys the transparent updates about what we're trying to do is really what we aim for. I obviously see a lot of comments in the chat, and again, we do appreciate your guys' support, and also the people that do have concerns, about when we're getting our own broker and everything like that. I think it's rightfully so. Just know that it is something that we are working on. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. All right, so big wins, major accomplishments, and reasons to celebrate. So this part of the presentation is about to get pretty interesting. I think the stats that we're about to show and the things we're about to cover, are mind-blowing. But first, let's get into this. So the Royal Challenge. So as most of you guys know, this past month we launched the Royal Challenge. Now the whole purpose of this is I put a poll in the chat and I said, what do you guys want? You want lower targets? You want EAs enabled? Do you want no lot size limits, right? And for most people, they've been complaining about the standard challenge and the rapid challenge. Or the standard challenge, there's lot size limits on there, and you guys wanted them, gone. You wanted lower profit targets, and there's no EAs enabled. So as an internal leadership team, we came together. We had Blake involved. Most of you guys know Blake, obviously, and we kind of asked him and we said, how can we accomplish what we're trying to set out to do based on all the feedback that we have from the people, and he put together this challenge specifically for you guys. We kind of looked at the risks involved because at the end of the day, guys, we are a business. We're not a nonprofit by any means, and we are assessing, what are the potential risks to the business, because we don't want to put out something that internally we can't manage, we can't figure out how to operate, and then all of a sudden becomes a situation where this product, essentially the costs become higher than the actual revenue of this product. So as a prop firm, any prop firm, they're trying to look at these things and what are the potential risks of any product they put out. And pretty much what we concluded was, if we wanted to do no lot size limits, no, or a lower profit target, and EAs enabled, we had to change up a thing or two. They're still holding over the weekends, which is good, but one thing that we had to adjust was how the daily drawdown is calculated. And most of you guys know really how this works. I mean, the easiest way to communicate it to you guys is that most people here know my Forex funds, and the way that is calculated is pretty much, if you have an open position, if you're floating in profit, the daily drawdown is calculated based on your highest equity watermark, instead of just the balance all the time. So if you're in a floating trade, if you're floating in profit, it's going to take that trade, it's going to subtract from the highest equity mark, and that means that if that trade potentially turns around for the next day, whatever, you could actually violate the account. Now, I have a video that I created that explains this. There's about 8 examples that I went through that literally, if you watch that video and look at the Google Doc, you will know exactly how the daily drawdown works. And for us, changing it to this and is something that you guys know. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Makes people basically close their winners sooner. It makes people not able to swing positions longer. Because of this, we're able to keep the holding over the weekend rule, and because of this, it definitely limits risk as of right now for our business. So this is the way that the drawdown is calculated. Again, we're very transparent with how it's done. I think the worst thing for us to do would have been to launch a challenge with a different drawdown and not communicate it and really hammer it home that this is the way that it's being done, because you guys obviously deserve to know, because you're spending your hard-earned money on all of this. So that's the World Challenge. That's really it in a nutshell. A lot of people have already taken advantage of this. And it's quickly becoming one of our most favorite products. So at the end of the day, if you guys have any questions about the World Challenge, go to our help center, go to the Knowledge Center. We have so many articles posted in there. Matt worked like an animal to get all of those done. And if you guys have any questions at all, they will be answered there. And I will say, if there is a question that you have and it is not answered in the Knowledge Center, please post as a suggestion. Let us know. We will get it added. At the end of the day, we can only do so much. We need that user feedback from you guys, so we can know, okay, well, there's something that we missed. There's something that's not in there that we missed, and we're not trying to sneakily add things to the FAQ, but if there are ways for us to make things a bit more clear for you guys to understand, that's obviously the direction that we're going to go. So definitely a big win getting the World Challenge out there. So we got I'm gonna let Matt go through this, because this is an interesting topic. So why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. So this has been one of the products that I've been working on since, I think, day one. I joined the company back in February, and essentially what this does is, we've talked about security and building out our security infrastructure pretty much in every single community update, and I'm really excited that in today's session we get to talk about the fact that we've launched what is called a vulnerability disclosure program, in addition to all the other security protocols we've put in place, like an annual penetration test, and whatnot. So the vulnerability disclosure program, what this allows us to do is crowdsource any vulnerabilities that whether it's clients that work with us or just random people who happen to stumble upon our website or our company, if they discover any sort of vulnerability with our firm, whether it's our technology, our website, et cetera, they're able to submit it through our website. It's thefundedtraderprogram.com/security. You can go in, you can read our entire process, what's in scope, what's out of scope, and you can actually submit vulnerabilities that you have found through our website. We actually go through a triage process, and if it's actually a legit vulnerability that you've discovered, we have a reward program. This is basically a program that is intended to be more proactive and ongoing throughout the year. We obviously do our huge annual screening and penetration test, which uncovers a huge majority of any vulnerabilities. It's this massive security process, but anyone who does discover things or believes they've discovered things, they can go ahead and submit them. And if it's a legitimate security issue that we haven't yet addressed, we have a low, medium, high reward tier system. So anywhere from like $100 to a couple $1,000 that can be rewarded for these vulnerabilities being disclosed. So again, if you want to read up on how to report a security vulnerability, you can just go to our website. You can read all about it. And again, you can then go ahead and view what the scope of the different areas of our website or technology are that you can submit reports on. And there is a form there that you can submit the vulnerability to our team, and we'll just go through our process. So big project, very excited to have this up and running. And we'll continue to invest in our security and the infrastructure there moving forward, but this has been a big one.
Yeah, and for me, this is an important kind of thing. You guys might not think anything of this, but considering where we were maybe 4 months ago when it comes to the security, we were having some issues with the security, as most of you guys know. And to get to where we are right now, where we have this full vulnerability disclosure program, people can submit if there are vulnerabilities, we can then take action, get them mediated, people get compensated for the work that they've done on this. This entire process is extremely important now for the future of the company and really stabilizes us from a security perspective. And I'd like to highlight that this same milestone that we reached from a security perspective is really where I expect us to be with the brokerage. We've identified now that there is, potentially an issue or there's an opportunity for us to improve the service that we're giving. So I expect over the next 4 months for us to essentially get to a slide like this, in next quarter or whatever, where we have a big update that's stabilizing that part of our business and that we're able to be extremely scalable because of this. So I really do want to celebrate this milestone. Like Matt said, this has been in the works for a couple months now. And for you guys, anyone that either has, is in business or, just trading really in general, just because this is a business, you guys understand that things take time, and ultimately there's going to be things that you're working on for months and months and months that are going to have little to no progress. But, as you're making small incremental steps with those, eventually you do get to the end result, and that end result is something that's extremely important, for what you're doing. So for us, this is just, we're constantly, day in and day out, working on the little things, the details, and ultimately that is why we're going to end up being extremely successful with this company and, even beyond this. So definitely big shout out to Matt for getting that going. So let's go on to the next one. All right. So let's get into some product updates. So the swing accounts. So with the World Challenge coming out, we have transitioned the standard and the rapid challenges, as most of you guys know. So let's do a quick overview of what this all pretty much means. So the swing and regular accounts, you guys might know, this is familiar from FTMO. They do a very similar thing. So what we kind of realized for us was the way that we were calculating drawdown on the standard and rapid challenges transparently was literally the best in the industry, almost too good to be true. We were allowing holds over the weekend, and we were calculating drawdown based on the balance. So this created an opportunity where people can really over leverage their accounts to a point where from a risk perspective, we couldn't even match them. So we really needed to take a step back. evaluate what we were doing, and this is the direction that we decided to go in. So to cover this, standard swing accounts you'll be able to hold over the weekend. There's no EAs on any of these challenges. Drawdown remains the same, 6% and 12%, which still remains obviously one of the most competitive in the industry. Now, the main thing that's changing is for the accounts that are holding over the weekend, the challenge is 1 to 60 leverage. The funded is 1 to 30 leverage. For the regular accounts, you can't hold over the weekend, but the leverage is going to be a bit higher, like it was before. Challenge 1 to 200, funded 1 to 100. And then the rapid ones, which is our challenge, that you have to hit 8%. I actually want to comment on this, Matt, because these daily drawdowns for the rapid actually aren't correct, which is fine. But I just want to reiterate to you guys that the max drawdown for the rapid and the rapid regular is 8%, and then the daily is 5%. So this is the one where you guys can get funded literally in as little as like 4 days. And it's the same thing for the leverage offered. It's 1 to 30 on the challenge. Funded, it's 1 to 30. So we have lower leverage on the ones you can hold over the weekend. And then the regular rapid accounts, it's 1 to 100 on the challenge, and then 1 to 100 when you guys are funded. So for more information on these guys, just go to our website. You go to the YouTube page. We've got videos that explain each of the challenges. I'm actually about to put a new video out probably for the standard challenge, just because since these updates, obviously I want to make sure that we're communicating the correct thing to you guys. So look out for that video coming soon, but these are the updates when it comes to the swing and the regular. So let's come into company initiatives. So we always like to kind of walk through what are we doing, as a community, what's coming next. And we've done a pretty good job with kind of ticking things off as we've been going through these community updates month by month. And if you guys even go to a previous webinar, you guys can see some of these, security testing, how it's in progress, and now it's pretty much live. So like Matt just kind of covered, security testing, description, vulnerability resolution, disclosure program. We just kind of talked about this. So the goal was just to have us complete internally a penetration test and then roll out this entire program. What a penetration test is pretty much having somebody poke, at our website, at our systems, so that they can see if there are any vulnerabilities. And if there are, then they can come in and they can obviously point us in the right direction on how we can resolve them and fortify kind of what we're doing with the TFT kingdom. So this is done. This is live. The NFT collection, I want to comment on this. So we did a test. We did kind of like a test run of the NFT collection. We sold 300 of them. I think only about maybe 25% of them were actually sold. So the benefits to those where you guys get access to a 10K challenge, you guys get 90% payouts permanently for holding, you get a discount, you get access to a private chat, and you get access to premium support. So that did go live. It is still available. If you guys are interested, it's in the NFT channel in the Discord. I will say this, it's going to be taken off. The mint is going to be offline probably by the end of this week. And then what we're doing is we're creating an entire collection pretty much from scratch. We're using some of the images from this drop right now, but we're getting a bit more advanced with basically all the images and the features and the rarities. And we're also figuring out a way to integrate Discord and the NFT collection, so that way we can validate through roles people that are holding the NFTs. That way we know who's eligible for all the benefits. So I look at it like this, like a year from now, there's going to be a full-blown NFT collection, maybe not a year from now, maybe even less, but I'm saying like a year from now, the way that I envision it is there will be a full NFT collection. It will have utility tied directly to our community, completely integrated. And at that point, you guys will look back at this original drop and you're going to be like, I should have just gotten in early, because there's going to be updates that are going to come. There's going to be additional benefits, and really now's the time to really get in anticipation for everything that's coming out. We are going to put together a roadmap. That's part of the project that's currently going on. Some of you guys want to wait until the roadmap is actually published. I mean, more power to you. That's definitely, one of the smarter things to do. So if you guys want to wait for the roadmap to get published, feel free to do that. So that's updates when it comes to the NFT collection. I really think that this is something that we can take advantage of. And I know a lot of people right now are kind of, a bit soured on NFTs and crypto in general. But considering what I've seen, in the last 5 years, if anything, now is the time to be super interested, in these things because of how, much everything has depreciated. So I think if you guys do have the means to do so, now is definitely a very interesting time when it comes to the NFTs and crypto in general. So Dashboard Hub. So this one is a personal kind of project of mine. This is like a passion project because we got basically, we met with the developers. We got like an original, I guess, copy or prototype, you could say, of what the dashboard would be. And, transparently, me and Matt had a look and we just weren't happy. We looked at it and we were kind of upset because really what we're trying to do is ultimately improve the user experience and create something really fucking cool at the end of the day, right? We're trying to create something that's really cool, really epic, that you guys are going to look at and it's like there's some type of wow factor and people love to use it. And the hub that we got was kind of looking like Windows 98, so it wasn't looking like the best. So what we did was I actually met somebody through the community who's a UI UX designer. I started meeting with him. He created a bunch of stuff from scratch, basically 25 pages, 5 variations per page, showing all of the different functions of the pages, the errors, all of this. We got all of that done in about 2 weeks, handed that over to the development team maybe about a week and a half ago. They've been working on it. It's about 2 to 3 weeks to kind of take all those designs, plug them in with all the functionality, the admin portal, and then get to a point where we can start to do testing. So that's where we're currently at. Matt has it on here, July 2022. That is accurate. This is something that we're going to be rolling out literally within the next 3 weeks. Like it's definitely going to be in July. Ideally, it's within the next 2 weeks. But we do want to test everything and make sure that we're solid and good to go. And when this comes out, I mean, this is gonna be epic. We have a slide coming up that I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more. But the main purpose of this is really just we want to consolidate the logins. Right now, you have a login for WordPress. That's where you guys go for your affiliate stuff. That's where you guys go to purchase an account. You have to have your WordPress account, and then you have your login for the dashboard. And everyone's like losing their passwords and like what's going on, and you know what I mean. It's just a bit confusing and something that we're very well aware of, and it is what it is for now. And it's always been a project of ours or a vision of ours to consolidate this. So this is going to accomplish that. The competition, the leaderboard, the checkout, the dashboard, all of your accounts, everything is going to be in the Trader Hub. So that's coming July 2022. The last thing is website design. So this is something that Matt, helped us out with. He kind of identified a bunch of different agencies to work with. I was running around like, oh, we'll just get somebody, to make this and do this. But Matt was very adamant to have an agency, come forward and help us. And ultimately, it is the right direction to go in. And I mean, transparently, guys, for us, it's going to cost us maybe around $40,000, maybe more to do an entirely new website. And at this point, I think it's something that's very well worth the investment. I wish we already had it, honestly. And a lot of people love the website the way that it is now. I see people in the chat, you guys are commenting that you like the website the way that it is now. And like, honestly, we really appreciate that because we did work hard with getting this website done. I still think it was a bit bootstrapped. You guys know the original website. I mean, that thing was a terror to say the least, but it got the job done. And, the website, the point where it's now, I'm happy with. I mean, the one thing that we want to improve is the website speed, overall performance of the site. I'd love to improve it visually as well. And the company that we basically hired to help us with the website design, I mean, is like world class. Like I'm really not even joking around. Like these people make great websites, interactive and just beautiful to see. So once you guys see the new website, I mean, that's something that's going to be coming in September. We're pretty much getting new logos made right now and kind of a new brand kit. And then once that's done, they're going to take that and we're going to start to work on the website. But we've already started the engagement with them on it, and they've given us kind of the timeline, and September is going to be when the new website comes out. So I'm super excited about that. I'm going to leave it to Matt. Do you have any comments on, any of these initiatives that you want to touch on?
Just wait, just wait. It's only a few more weeks until the dashboard hub is out, and then this new design for the website is going to just, I'm like ecstatic over this. The firm to your point, Angela, the firm we selected, they're just top tier. So it's exciting to have that happen. So yeah, guys, a lot of really cool things happening during the remainder of the year. Angela, myself, and the other leadership members of TFT are be connecting in a few weeks to do some more quarterly planning and really rest of the year, like 6-month planning for the rest of the year. So we'll likely have more initiatives that we'll be sharing in our future community update. Likely, I would think that the updates to our initiatives will probably happen in August. We'll be, I think, meeting in August. Angela is when we'll be connecting. So, yeah, we're gonna have a pretty exciting update probably in August in terms of where we're heading, some new things that are gonna be on the horizon, strategy, etc. But as of right now, we're definitely focused, very aligned as a leadership team, and we've got the full company behind it. So that's just good news for everyone. Angela, I love it. One of the comments in the chat was, "This feels like a board meeting with like a heart face." And yeah, like the point is, like, we feel we report to our community, right? Like that's essentially what we're trying to do, is just be super transparent and share what's going on with the company as we're building it, as we're growing, and to get the feedback from our team and our community.
Yeah, and that's actually funny because I read something yesterday, and it was the guy who started Walmart, and he was pretty much like the boss is the customer. At the end of the day, we can all be fired by the customer at any time. And I look at that the same way. I memean, sure, I'm the CEO, Matt's the COO, we got Carlos CFO, we got Blake and Nick, partners, influencers, whatever you want to call them, of the business. They, at the end of the day, all of us don't matter without you guys, right? You guys are what's most important, because we're making a product for you, for the community at the end of the day. And that's why things have been so exciting, is Blake has done such a good job at structuring our programs to be very fair and to be very attractive for people, to give you guys a good chance to actually make money. And we're gonna get into how much money has actually been made in one of the next slides, which is like really insane, the impact that we're really having. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are what's most important. I mean, you're driving this business, you guys sharing, our content, you guys participating in our giveaways, in the Discord, obviously purchasing the challenges and everything like that. You guys really are becoming a lot of evangelists, for our business. And all we can do, I mean, for me, it's a fulfilling thing to work really hard and to see people value, what we're doing. And ultimately, we're having a serious impact, on the trading industry. I think one that, hasn't really been done, before. I really do think we're making a huge impact. So those are our initiatives. Let's start to get into some other fun updates. So again, the dashboard. I'm going to basically, because I'm so excited about the dashboard, I put together a video. So I'm going to be dropping this YouTube video that's going to walk you guys through pretty much every single page. And I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of the development of the dashboard as well, because I know a lot of people are interested in kind of myself and our work and internally what we're doing and like how we go about things and whatnot. So I'm going to kind of show you guys the creative process so you can see, what did I have to do to really get the dashboard to the way that it's going to be, in a couple weeks. So I'm going to walk you guys through the development process. We're going to talk through all the different pages, what you're actually going to be able to do and everything like that. And once you guys do get an actual visual of everything that's going to be going on with it and understand really how it all works, you're going to realize that we are going to have one of the most comprehensive traders hubs, out of all the prop firms in the industry. And that from day one has been the goal. So super excited for you guys to see that video. Look for it coming out within the next 2 weeks or so. And that being said, let's start to get into some fun part of the webinar, stats and metrics. Let's see, how is the funded trader performing? So our current payouts to date is 7.8 million. So obviously, that's a huge number, up over 2.9 million from 4.8 in May. So we have obviously paid out heavily over the last 2 months. And one thing I will say, just from my perspective, is the last 2 months, the market, the way that it's been trending, has been extremely favorable for the traders. At the end of the day, that's how I see things. There's been a lot of trending markets, specifically USD, JPY. There's been a lot of things where people have been able to take advantage of what's going on in the world. There's a lot going on right now from a macroeconomic perspective, with the interest hiking up with the rates, and obviously the war raging on in Russia, and all these different things, gas prices, everything like that. So there has been a lot of catalysts where people have been able to kind of look at those, and look at technical analysis and take advantage of those things. So to think 1 year ago, when we started this, that we would have paid out about 1 year and 1 month in 7.8 million in payouts. I mean, the impact across the industry, you guys might not realize, is massive. Like, this is money directly going into the pockets of traders, across the world. And it's really wild. And like, the average payout is about $7,000. But then there are people that are getting paid out huge. And we don't have it on the slide, but I'm just going to touch on top 5 payouts from this last month. Number 1, 93,900. Number 2, 61,700. Number 3, 56,200. Number 4, 55,800. And number 5, 44,200. And I will say this, guys, pretty much the top 10 to 20 traders take up 50% of the payouts that are going out on a monthly basis. So literally, there's about 20 people in the firm who are making bank, and the rest of them are averaging about $7,000. But this is a very interesting stat. I know you guys want more stats, you want more insight, what's actually going on when it comes to people making money, failing, passing, and whatever. So if you guys want a very interesting stat, literally, if you're in the top 20 of traders in the firm, you're making about 50% of the money, that the firm is generating. So it's extremely interesting, that stat. And one thing that I will be doing, and we didn't touch on this in the presentation, we're gonna put out some updates on this in the coming weeks, is I want to do a video gonna be called "The Truth About Prop Firms," and pretty much we're gonna release the video when the YouTube channel hits 10K subscribers, and I'm gonna run through all the stats to date on our prop firm. I'm gonna show you guys the pass rate, the failure rate, the money made, some interesting stats, like when people go up a certain amount, how often do they fail? We have a lot of reports that are starting to be generated for ourselves internally, and as soon as we can kind of quantify all of those and organize everything, we can share those stats with you guys. And one thing I will say is the pass rate is higher than most of you guys kind of realize. The pass rate is definitely higher than you guys actually realize. So I mean, we're gonna share those stats. You guys are gonna be interested in what's going on, and at the end of the day, if you guys still think, if the pass rate's 7%, 8%, if you guys still think that that's too challenging, I think you guys are in the wrong industry. I think at the end of the day, trading is a difficult thing. Not everyone that signs up for a trading account deserves to make $93,900. This is the top person in the firm. This is someone who has an extreme edge in the markets, who's extremely disciplined, who has the balls, or if they're a woman, has the nerve to freaking hold this trade and hold these trades. And that's why ultimately they're making all this money. So the reason I'm so excited about this company is it's truly, I don't know if the word, capitalistic in a sense, but this company is a reflection of your discipline, your accountability, your skill. If you can make money, you will get paid in the markets. It kind of just is what it is. If you don't have a strategy, and if you go into challenges with the wrong psychology, you're not going to do well in these challenges. And, we encourage you not to purchase challenges if you're in that situation where psychologically you're getting beat up. Take time off, take the competitions. We have many different things going on inside of the community that you can take advantage of. And, take time off. Take time off. Don't be just blowing on challenges left and right. Wait till you're ready. Wait till you have a legitimate plan, because the opportunity here is obviously massive for you guys. So let's do payouts to date. So I'll let you, Matt, start off with this, and then I'll cap it off.
Yeah, I thought this was a really interesting slide just to share with the community. Now that we're at the end of the quarter, right, we're halfway through 2022. We want to look at, what was our rate of growth with regards to payouts over time. And so the gray bar, all of 2021, that's how much we paid out in all of 2021. So it's about a little over $880,000 in that year. During the first quarter of 2022, so January through March, we paid out 1.96 million. And then this past quarter, so April, May, and June, we paid out 4.97 million. So all aggregated goes up to our about almost $8 million in payouts to date from the previous slide. But I just want to show everyone here that, for us, we look at this and we get very excited because from all of 2021 to, the first quarter, we basically doubled. We a little more than doubled the payouts during that period. And then we basically 3x'd, 4x'd all of 21.
So, oh my God.
So it's kind of, for us, when we look at, hey, how are we performing, a big stat for us is the payouts, right? Like we want to ensure that our clients are getting paid, that they are being successful. To Angela's point, yeah, not everyone's going to make it because this is an athletic game in a sense, right? And so there's 0 participation awards. No. You have to put in the work, right? You have to put in the work. And I think that, to your point, Angelo, from a capitalistic sense, to me, it really just means that this system literally rewards people who are skilled and are good at, owning their mindset, developing the skill set, and really coming into this and caring about this. So just kind of want to share this because our goal here is, next quarter and certainly for the rest of the year, that these bars continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger and that we're growing. So there's a big stat that we use to measure our performance, how well are we doing as a company, is our payout growth. So I hope everyone can see here that this is exciting. And, if you haven't yet gotten a payout and you've gotten funded and you're going through the process, to Andrew's point, don't keep burning and getting new accounts, take a break, but come back, right? Learn from it because everyone has potential to earn payouts and be a top trader. It just requires you to really put forth the right discipline, right? So discipline, habits, mindset, the psychology piece of this. There's so many free resources out there for people to learn, not just the trading skills, but also the mindset stuff. So I really encourage people to get out there and continue putting their best foot forward and to join the ranks of the top traders with TFT and certainly of other prop firms out there. But Angela, yeah, when we put this slide together, I thought it was really interesting to kind of look at.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why we had this big jump, I mean, to Matt's point, we're having all this growth is really the improvements that we're bringing. Even we have the rapid challenge now, people are getting funded even faster. With that program, we're doing 90% payouts. Which obviously increases the payouts and whatnot. We're doing those types of promotions all the time. So I mean, for myself, transparently, guys, if we're doing in between April and June, if we're doing about 5 million in payouts, that quarter, I mean, the goal for me the next quarter would be to do, double, whatever, more payouts in the Q3 coming up. Be doing 9 million in payouts, right? Because for us, ultimately what it comes down to, that means our business is expanding, quite rapidly. And obviously, we're providing a ton of opportunity for you people. Now, I really believe that for us to get to that level, for us to grow that much, the Trade Hub coming out with that, the broker, coming out with that, the new website coming out with that, those are things that are going to put us really over the top. Like those are things that all the people that watch, us in these presentations, they watch some of our content, they're like, oh, these guys are a little bit unprofessional. Once those things come out, I mean, we'll see who's professional at that point because we're literally going to have the best technology, the best product on the market. And I don't care what I say in the chat on a daily basis, when I wake up and just trying to have fun. If we literally have the best product, we have the most organized support team, we have the best systems, people can love or hate who we are. At the end of the day, they're going to want to use our product. And, ultimately that's really what it comes down to. And you guys see, in the chat, sometimes I'm doing some banter. And some people, we came out the vlog, and there was like one comment on the vlog. They're like, "Oh, a bunch of frat bros, just having a good time." And I'm like, you probably haven't had a good time since 2001, and that's why you're saying that. You know what I'm saying? So we're here to have fun. At the end of the day, though, we're here to work. We're here to improve our product, and we're here to create something really out of nothing. I mean, this business was an idea, in my head, and then we put together our team. Like, it was originally my idea, but the team is what's making this a reality. You know what I mean? So we were putting together one of the best teams, in my opinion. Everyone's working their asses off to improve everything, and so that you guys have exceptional service. And again, this payouts to date, these stats, the growth of the company is really a testament to our team, and really you guys, because our community has been great. Our Discord, a lot of Discords are like cesspools. Like, they're filled with just a bunch of negative comments and, just bad people, like people that are just trying to fight with people, whatever. Our Discord, for the most part, it's honestly a pleasant place. I'm throwing the band hammer in there every now and then. We got to get fun, we got to get creative. But there's definitely a special community that we're building in there, and ultimately, that's why we're able to get all this feedback from you guys, and that's why we're able to improve the product as fast as we are. So payouts to date, sheesh, pretty wild. All right, so total funded accounts, we're nearing 3,000 funded accounts. New funded accounts in June, 668. So obviously there's a lot of people funded, but remember, the people that are getting paid, they're literally the top 20 people are making 50% of the money right now, guys. So, keep that in mind. And the people that are making $6,000 to $7,000 a month, those are the people that are extremely conservative. They're managing their account very professionally, and they're really taking their time with the challenge. And then you got a lot of funded people that are failing, when they get the accounts, and that just is what it is. And that's something that we're going to talk about in this video that's going to come out. The truth about prop firms is I'm going to give you the stats. What percentage of people that get funded accounts fail? What percentage of people that get payouts, one payout, fail on the second payout? What percentage of people that get two payouts fail on the third payout, right? These are all stats that we have. And then honestly, like, us sharing them with you guys, if anything, should motivate you guys more. There's one person with TFT, he's had a funded account for like 9 months. Like, he's had a funded account since like the 3rd month we've been in business. You know what I mean? He's killing it. He's very conservative. He's very humble. You don't see him in the chat like, I just made a bunch of money. Like, he's very humble, and he looks at it like, there is this opportunity for me to make money. Let me keep my mouth shut. Let me be humble. Let me be gratuitous, and let me just take advantage of this, over and over again. And then there's the people that get funded. They do an interview. On the interview, they literally sound like they're going to fail the account tomorrow. And then, likely enough, they get the account. They over leverage. The first week they fail, whatever. And this is just on being undisciplined. So, guys, don't get too high. Don't get too low. Like, me and Matt have talked about a lot. Neutral thinking. Don't put yourself in a vulnerable position. Level your expectations and just exceed them. But when you exceed them, don't be like, oh my God, like, I'm the best person ever. Just let it happen. Let that shit flow. So yeah, that's our total funded accounts, new funded accounts. I don't know, Matt, if you had any comments on that.
Yeah, I just loved it because, from a last update, it was 540 new accounts in May. So again, just for everyone's benefit, we're seeing growth in pretty much every single metric across the company right now, which is exciting. And we're just continuing looking to grow the funded accounts. And yeah, keep coming in, guys. This is an exciting time. So next quarter, people are saying they're hoping to see 10 million in payouts next quarter, Angela. We had 5 million this past quarter. I think we do 10.
If we do 10 million in payouts next quarter, Matt will be wearing a fucking King's costume. We'll come to the webinar wearing Knights uniforms, full uniforms. When we hit 10 million, I think that's a fair. I think it's a fair enough thing, Matt. We just found a website, actually. It's like $200 for full blown like medieval costumes. Like,
So worth it. I think, Angela, you
yeah.
should show up in a night outfit on a horse, and you'll take the entire community update on a horse.
Yeah. No, I was actually thinking of starting to do reels where I'm in the knight's costume and I just like I grow the beard like really long and I just literally become like a legend, like a TFT legend.
I support this in every capacity.
Yeah, I see people asking where Blake is. Guys, Blake right now, we're actually we're wondering where he was too. And we went and tried to find him and Blake's in the gym right now. Blake's in the gym getting busy. The guy's trying to get he's trying to get the bod right so he could throw on the knight's armor and just fucking crush people. That's what that's what Blake's doing. No, I mean, Blake's obviously if you're wondering what's up with Blake, go to his YouTube, check out what's going on with like his latest videos. I know he did one recently with Nick, one of our other partners for the company, kind of highlighting his experience and some of his thoughts on TFT and stuff. So if you guys want to know what's going on with Blake, go to his page. And we're gonna do a an interview with Blake soon. I'm gonna interview him myself. It'll be like a podcast for TFT because obviously people want to hear from Blake. I mean, Blake's the guy, right? So, oh my God. Abez goes King Dad bod. Oh my God. So obviously, people want to hear from Blake. I want to hear from Blake too. He's a very interesting guy. Blake, as much as me, has helped this company tremendously because ultimately he created the programs and he provides a ton of guidance for us on really what to do, with our company. So Blake's definitely a great advisor for our business. So we're gonna get an interview with him so you guys can hear from Blake soon. I'm just gonna go back. We're gonna pause for a second, guys, for the giveaway. In order to qualify, what you guys need to do is you need to screenshot this slide, take a picture of this slide, put it on your IG story, tag the funded trader. In here, we've been doing this on every webinar. I mean, honestly, we're just trying to get the message out there about TFT, throw it on your story, just gonna make more people aware of our company. We'll repost you guys, get you guys some clout and whatnot on the TFT page. But this is for the giveaway. We're giving away a 200K account. Obviously, a pretty big giveaway. This is kind of part one. We're also going to do a Q&A at the end of the session. You guys can post for the Q&A some questions. I'm going to run through them. And then you guys will also qualify for the giveaway. I'm going to announce the winner of the giveaway shortly after just because when it comes to like tagging on IG and stuff, it takes some time for me to actually go through and to see who does it. So we're going to pause. We're going to pause for a second here. Screenshot this, post it on your story. Also post in the chat any questions you have. And if there have been any questions, let's actually go through the chat, Matt, and see if like the only things I was seeing is obviously they're interested in the broker, the server. But
Yeah, I have
overall a lot of positive comments in here.
yeah, a lot of good stuff. And Angela, just in regards to the giveaway, someone asked what happens if they don't have an IAG. I guess at this point right now, maybe we'll make a consideration for next month, but it sounds like for right now, just to be able to enter, guys, you got to have an IG account in order to screenshot this and tag us and to be eligible.
Yeah, I'll say this. One way to qualify is for the IG story, and then the other way to qualify is post one question in the chat. So if you guys just have a question, post in the chat, and then we'll pretty much just select, I'll look at IG, I'll look at here, I'll put some names into a hat, pick with my eyes closed, and then, we'll get a giveaway winner. So one way, post a question, other way, post IG story. We're going to move on in the presentation. If you guys haven't posted it, just grab a screenshot from a page that we're on, put it on your IG story. We would appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to let Matt get into this slide because this is all you, man.
Oh man, yes. We've rebranded this to the Nobility Series, just kind of in honor of something we're doing internally as a company. We're basically offering what we call the Nobility Award every month to a team member within the funded trader. So this is more of a company thing for our team members, where every month our team gets to nominate other individuals within the company on who they believe should win the Nobility Award at the funded trader. And this month is the first month we're doing it. We're actually going to announce to our own company early next week who that person is within the funded trader. But with regards to this series that we do every single month, it's called the Nobility series now, quick little rebrand. And the idea is that we're basically coming together and just sending us off on a high note, right? Something to be like a theme for the month that helps set our mindset and psychology correctly. And this should be universal for everyone in the sense that the wisdom, the ideas shared in this should really be interpreted by each person on a profound level, where you can kind of sit back and really reflect how you can bring this virtue of tranquility into this upcoming month of July. So we grow and succeed through profound tranquility. And tranquility is an interesting word. It typically means like calmness and like a relentless state of calmness and focus. But something I want to add to this is while being unfuckable with under intense pressure, right? Tranquility. So, I think of the example of Muhammad, for instance, Angelo. Like Muhammad on our team, I thought provided tremendous tranquility where he was unfuckable with and remained very calm and focused during the server issue on Friday, right? Like that's a very intense situation for anyone to be under. And especially someone who's on the front line support for the funded trader when something like that is happening. And what Muhammad was able to do is he was able to step up, he rallied the team, and he just went through each issue, got into our project management board, got all the details, and worked diligently and was super focused during that entire period to resolve everyone's issues. And that was remarkable. So that example, what I want to share with the team here, everyone on the community update, is how can you bring more tranquility into each moment of your day, every single day? This is not just like a one-off thing, but really installing this as a state of calmness, as a state of focus every single day when you're trading, every single day in your relationships, your psychology, your mindset, and how you're showing up to the game is actually more important than the game, right? Like think of an athlete who is getting ready for a World Cup game or, a baseball game, et cetera, like whatever it might be, a UFC fighter getting ready. They're getting their mindset correct. They're not coming in all anxious and nervous. They might be a little bit of nervousness on the inside, and that's good. Actually, you probably need a little bit of that as well. But they're basically transmuting that into excitement and tranquility to help them actually perform better. So month of July, want everyone to think about how they're showing up. If you're showing up and you're, taking trades and you're getting into situations because of FOMO, or you're really worried, you're anxious, you're scared, really sit back, take a breath, and you got to focus on your physiology, your ability to remain calm, get your nerves right. A lot of what Angela was talking about today. Angela, I think you do a phenomenal job at portraying tranquility in pretty much every moment, which is really exciting as a leader, right? Again, it's from the top down, but you have to have extreme ownership, in my opinion, when it comes to this stuff, guys. So every single community update, we talk about something that we can bring forth, basically a theme and intention for the month. And this month's intention for the month of July should be tranquility, because there is a ton of crap happening right now in the world, and it is causing massive chaos, a lot of uncertainty, fear, etc. And I think that what we need to do as a community is be leaders of ourselves, be leaders of the community, and really be leaders of the market at large, and show up with a relentless state of calmness, a relentless state of focus, and really to show up and not be unfuckable with when there is intense pressure. So Angela, I don't know if you have any thoughts. I know this is something that you think about, I'm sure, a lot. I don't know if you have any tips on how to remain tranquil under pressure. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much time. I know we've already gone over an hour and 15 minutes, but a great theme for this upcoming month.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, I mean, you really have to realize like what's most important, in that moment. And despite there being chaos and things going wrong, I mean, ultimately, what is the North Star? Like, what are you anchored in regards to your confidence and your experience and whatnot? And really just comes down to, how much do you trust yourself? So I think in that situation, with Muhammad, who's one of our support supervisors, with him being extremely unfuckable with, in the terms of Matt, it's really just comes down to he's extremely confident that he can handle any situation that is thrown his way. To this point, he's been able to solve pretty much every problem that's come his way. So it's almost like, and I say this in the chat, is it's almost like bring it on. I mean, if there's going to be a huge problem that we need to handle, at the end of the day, it's a huge opportunity for us. It's a huge test. And I look at it like this, guys. If this is, I guess, a universal law, I don't know why this happens, but it's almost like when you're at your peak, right? You have your biggest moment, maybe a huge payout, a lot of success in your business, maybe personal success, whatever. I say this is the terminology I use. That's when you're going to be faced with a bazooka. That's when you're going to be hit with a missile. There's going to be something that goes wrong. There's going to be some type of test, and it's going to happen right when you're at your best. And ultimately, and Carlos, knows I talk about this a lot, is I've been very adamant on that concept throughout us building our company, is whenever things are going great, I'm looking over my shoulder because I'm like, things are too good right now. You know what I mean? Like there's something's going to happen. We got to be prepared for this. We got to be prepared for that. And rightfully so. Every single time there's something that happens. And ultimately, that's how you stay ahead. So if you guys have a funded account and you're up 10K right now, in my honest opinion, and I'm not just saying this so you buy another challenge, but you guys should be preparing for the absolute worst. If you're up 10K, great. You're up a ton of money. Put $500, start another 100K challenge. Be prepared for the worst that could possibly happen. That's just my advice for you guys, so that when that does happen, you guys are ready. You guys are calm. You guys are like, I prepared for this. Now, I'm not saying go and buy 6 months of food and, bunker down in your house and all that. I mean, I know a lot of people are on that side and doing all that, but at the same time, be prepared. So when these crisis type situations do happen, you can be, as Matt's saying, you can be tranquil, you can be calm, and you can just handle your business. You can just handle what you need to do. So that being said, the Nobility series, I before have had something like this at a company I worked for several years ago, where they would reward like on the spot employees, that did well. And early in my career, that was something that was actually like really, it was kind of like shifting for me, because when I was awarded something for what I did, at the time I had very little skills, and I was kind of just one of my first jobs. And that was something that I really appreciated getting, and it kind of validated what I was doing, and it helped to build my confidence. So that's why we're going to do these awards, for employees of our company, because ultimately we want to build, everybody up. And, at the end of the day, they also do get a little bit of a bonus. But I do think from a psychology perspective, it's very important for us to encourage our team to acknowledge each other's wins, but also for us to, encourage it as well and to showcase it. So that being said, here we go. Let's hear it, Matt. Let's hear it.
Presenting it, guys. I just love this quote. It's basically, that's space between your ears. That's yours. You don't just have to control what gets in. You also have to control what goes on in there. You have to protect it from yourself, from your own thoughts, because the mind is an important and sacred place. Keep it clean, keep it clear, right? So tranquility, guys, it all comes down to what's happening inside your mindset. There's a lot of external things happening in the world, but we need to become the kings and queens of our own mind. We got to be the owners of it. And ultimately, that's going to create our reality. It's going to create our success. And at every moment, we have the ability to choose our attitude towards every situation. So make sure you're keeping your mindset clean, make sure you keep your mindset clear, because there's a lot of stuff trying to grab our attention right now and put us into a fearful state. So, stay calm, carry on, I suppose.
Yeah, so I want to comment on this as well, because really the way in which I've been able to accomplish everything that I've been able to do personally, like in my business and career and whatnot, is really just, it's this concept is how can I work towards a calm, clear state of mind every single day? So every single day I approach whatever's thrown at me in complete like tranquility, like very calm, very collected, very available, a lot of space for me to make decisions, to be creative, right? Like I don't want to get into the day and be erratic and be all over the place and then make bad decisions because of that, put myself in bad situations, bad environments, a lot of pressure. No, like the key for me is every single day I do things that clear my mind, get me ready for the day. I know Matt does the same. For example, guys, for me right now, one of the things I do is I hit a workout early in the morning. I go in the pool early in the morning. I sit in the sun, whatever. I do that before I start my day. Then when I come on meetings, I don't care what somebody says. I'm good. I'm calm. You know what I mean? I'm ready to handle whatever's thrown my way. Don't let work consume you. Don't let it overtake your life. At the end of the day, you got to live life. There's a lot to live for besides work and besides money at the end of the day. And I think if you guys cannot establish a clean and clear state of mind, you shouldn't be participating in the challenges yet. You should really try to establish that first. You should take the time. Maybe you have a job, you hate that job, whatever. Put together a plan. Like, I'll say this because it's easy for me to say to just quit your job, but when you have no money and you got to pay bills and you have a job, it's not easy to quit it. You can't quit a job at that point. So if you're in that position, guys, put together a plan. Like, I remember when someone asked in here, there was a point where I was in debt. I didn't have a lot of money. And what I do? I put together a plan, that was putting me in a position to continue to invest, in my entrepreneurial endeavors and my businesses. I remained disciplined. Sure, I wasn't disciplined all the time, what I'm saying? But I stuck to that plan as much as I could be. Ultimately, I took risks. I stick to the plan. Eventually it played out well for myself. I think anyone puts together a plan to put yourself in a position to have more time, you should stick to that plan. And then ultimately the goal, again, clear state of mind. Like, you can accomplish, in my opinion, anything with a clean and clear state of mind. So I'm glad that you brought, this slide up, Matt, because this is something that we ourselves embody. I know Matt and myself, and that's why we work so well together. We're trying to encourage our team, as best as we can to have this concept, this way of living as well. I mean, it's a lifestyle at the end of the day. And yeah, we encourage, all of you to hear us out, for what we're saying, take some nuggets from this and just try to implement these things in your life. Ultimately, we're here like you guys, we're building something, you guys are building something. Doesn't matter if what we're building is bigger than what you're building. I mean, it's all the same concept. It's all the same thing. So Matt, thanks for putting together that slide. June giveaway, again, reminder, guys, post a story. And since we're already through the presentation, let's get into the Q&A. So post a question in the chat. We're gonna run through 10 questions. And what we're gonna do, Matt, if you can go through the chat while I'm answering, just post it in the Zoom chat, whatever questions they have, and then I'll just go through and handle them. So guys, post questions in here. This is how you're gonna qualify for the giveaway. Afterwards, I'm gonna go through the stories. I'm gonna go through all the questions and I'm gonna answer them, or I'm gonna pick a winner. I'm gonna pick a winner for the giveaway, 200K account. So let's get started. Question number 1. I saw a bunch of these questions rolling through here. Let's start out with this one. How big the TFT team actually is. So this is a good question. And honestly, at this point, I mean, Matt, how many employees do we actually have? I mean, we definitely have over 10.
Oh yeah. I mean, so our team's interesting because we have full-time employees here in the States who are actual like W-2 employees. So we got about 12 there total here locally, but our team is about, I think the last time I looked, 26 or 27 people total. I mean, the team is pretty large. And what I mean by that, Angela, is like our contractors, right? Yeah. So our team globally that we're working with, our designers, developers, et cetera, we're about 27, 28 people at this point. We just hired someone.
That's insane. Yeah.
Right.
That's wild.
So we're constantly growing. We just hired a new assistant editor for all of our video content that we got going on. And we're constantly evaluating our needs. So yeah, we've got a pretty sizable team here.
And I think and for you guys that are sitting there like, how does Angelo not know how many people are in the team? Like, so you guys are aware, every single person that gets hired by TFT is either directly recommended by myself or has been vetted and hired by Matt and has had an interview with myself. So I think that's why we've been so successful, is we really have been pulling people from the community that I personally have done work with or have known in the past who have been referenced to us by somebody that we trust and that we've worked with. And that's why we've had such success with screening and hiring. And we're getting so many resumes right now from people, and very able-bodied people as well. to our hiring at the fundedtraderprogram.com. So if you guys have a resume, if you guys are interested in working for TFT, like Matt said, 26 strong. And the reason why I feel like we don't have that many employees is because our systems internally are becoming so optimized, that we're so organized with everything that we're doing, that it's almost like we have 3 employees, because it's just we're operating like a well-oiled machine at the end of the day. And that's ultimately what's the most important for you guys that are wondering, can TFT scale? Can they do this? Da, da, da. Like for us, I mean, the things that we're implementing, the processes that we're establishing, we are very happy with, and it's definitely going to put us in a good position. So let's go to question number 2. When TFT is launching its own server. So obviously people are going to start asking this a lot more, and we had one attempt to launch our own server several months ago. We faced some legal kind of obstacles that we couldn't get approved to work with the company we want to work with for it, which is what it is. And at this point, we do have a bit better connections to be able to get this done. And it is a project that we're going to be working on in Q3. And once Matt, myself, and Carlos kind of meet and establish exactly what our Q3 goals, really are very clearly, I would say that this definitely is one of the priorities for Q3. Let's see. All right, so this is actually one I wanted to touch on for the next community update. Is there any official merchandise shop of TFT? Currently, there's not a merch shop. We kind of put one together. Not really too excited about how it came out, because it's kind of just integrated with Printful, and we would just be drop shipping from Printful, but the designs are just very basic. So once we get the new logo developed, and then once we get the new logo developed, I'm gonna have a designer that I work with start to create t-shirt concepts, and I really want to get those done. And I have this idea for a type of merch that I want to create, but it's a bit outrageous in a way, but it's basically like these crowns, but they're like, it would be really cool. So they're like these hats, but they're like crowns. But I have to figure out how to create them, because I think if I can create them really well, it might be something interesting for people to purchase. And I mean, if you get a 50K payout, you might have enough energy to put on the crown at that point. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you might actually have the nerve to wear the crown publicly. You might just start wearing it outside. So in the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking about how I can develop that, because when it comes to developing merch and clothes and stuff, it's so hit or miss. You need to have a good design. You need to have good people to create, good materials and all that stuff. It's a project. It really is, to create like actually really good merch.
Ashley just said party shirt merch.
Party shirt merch. I mean, party shirt merch. We could come out with party shirts. If Ash, you have some ideas, obviously feel free to reach out. I know you've been busy with the ladies and coconuts out in Thailand, but if any part of you wants to help out, feel free to reach out. All right, this is a good one. So, more events coming this year, like the FX Summit. So, for those that have watched the vlog, we obviously had a great time. It was just a good weekend. It was a good event. We had a good group that came, all the funded people. What's crazy to us is we've never met those people before. And Matt never met Adam in person, or Nick in person. So it was really a reach to do the event, because we were just shooting the shit. Like, we just literally made it happen out of thin air, and it just all came together. And it was really fun. I think everyone that came was like pleasantly surprised at, how nice I was, how cool Matt was and everything. They were just like really, really excited to meet us and just hang out with us. And obviously we had some conversations that I believe were extremely valuable. And we have new connections with people from all over the world. I mean, one person that came, he literally came from Madrid. He's originally from France. And me and him are keeping in touch now. He's one of the TFT traders. And I know he's been scheduling meetings with me. I've been canceling them, but I'm about to hop on a meeting with him soon just to discuss some things. But yeah, it was a great time. If you guys haven't seen the vlog, definitely go to the YouTube, check out the vlog. It's definitely it was an interesting time. Now, for future events, so we're gonna be doing an event. It's gonna be happening. Let me look up the exact date. It's gonna be happening July. So July 22nd through the 24th, we're gonna be having a scavenger hunt on the 23rd in New York City. The people that qualified for the 20K giveaway, I've already reached out to them. They're personally invited to come as our featured guests and participate in the scavenger hunt. And then we're going to be inviting everyone else in the community that wants to come and show up. I did a poll in the Discord. I think like 100 people said they would show up. I mean, that's crazy if that happened. But basically, the thinking is we do a scavenger hunt. There's going to be team leaders. So the people that can win the $20,000 are going to be leaders of three. I think it's going to be 3 or 4 teams. And then everyone else that comes at the start is going to be assigned to a team. And then pretty much whomever team wins, the leader is going to win $20,000. And then everyone on the team is going to win a 10K challenge. And then there's going to be other prizes as well that are going to be included for the people that just come and participate in the scavenger hunt. And then afterwards, we're going to meet up, do an announcement of who won and everything like that. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be very interesting. Adam, who's our demand gen, he's putting together everything for the scavenger hunt. Last I checked, there was like over 50 items on the list, and there's some fun ones on there. We're going to record this whole thing. It's going to be on YouTube, and it's going to be our next vlog. So you guys are going to see Friday night. We're going to be going to I'll let you guys see the video to see where we're going to be going, but it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be very on brand, where we're going. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, that's plans for the next event for the coming year. Now, I don't know where somebody put this. Somebody asked about the TFT office. I posted in the Discord basically that we had an idea to put together the office. Where's the TFT office? We polled, people want Miami. I haven't checked the poll recently. It was kind of close. Like, I don't remember the numbers, but like it was close. Like there was like a 10% gap between Miami and New York. I live in Fort Lauderdale, like down here, so I would probably prefer to do it in Miami, honestly. So yeah, I mean, TFT office, something that we're considering. We have an idea for this entire TV show, basically, where we would do like a competition where we'd have people at the office, and basically whomever wins the competition would win money, 10, 20, 30K, 100K funded account. We have this whole idea around that. So that's something that we're going to work on, but not in Q3. We're going to work on that probably more in Q4 once we dial some other things. So we're definitely looking to bring the trade floor up. Let's see. Will direct payouts ever be available? Yeah, so I'm not sure what you mean by direct payouts, but I'm gonna assume two different ways that you're asking this. Like, when you hit withdraw, it automatically gets sent to you. We're looking into integrating an automated withdrawal system specifically for crypto, where, for example, this is very hypothetical, maybe every payout under 10K just automatically gets withdrawn. No interference with anyone from the support team, whatever. And then everything over 10K is a manual withdrawal process where we validate the account a bit more. So that is definitely in the plans, and I would say it's something that is in the cards for maybe Q4, but not in Q3. Oh man. See some.
Here's one that's coming up a lot here, Angelo. I've seen this one.
Is there plans for a 10K challenge? So not a 10K challenge. I'd say we'd more do like a 30K or 25K. I had a conversation with Carlos about this the other day. It's definitely something that's interesting for us to consider. I know a lot of people want the 25K or the 10K, 25K, whatever. So it actually is something that we're starting to consider. In the past, I've always shot it down, and honestly been very blunt about us doing it. But I think at this point, it's becoming more of a reality that we might actually bring it to you guys. This is a interesting one. Can TFT handle a flash crash in the market and still be a viable business? So this is a great question. I mean, at the end of the day, even my pops, reached out to me and he's like, if there's a recession, like, what happens to your business? And not to say that we're recession proof, but at the end of the day, I mean, we trade the effects, the commodities, crypto, indices. I mean, indices isn't open 24/7, but I mean, you get it. Like, FX is open 24/7. Indices closed down for like a little bit, but anyway, like, pretty much you can trade, you buy, you can sell, you trade both sides of the market. At the end of the day, the more volatility there is in the market, it's actually more favorable for people trading and whatnot. So to answer your question, can TFT handle a flash crash? We internally have some new tools that are coming to become available for us at the end of Q3, that are really going to help us from a risk perspective, to help us mitigate the risks of if there is a flash crash, say everybody's on one side of the market, how do we handle this from a risk perspective? And yeah, these are tools that are currently being developed. The way that we handle those things now are a bit more manual. So these tools are going to allow us to automate things, which will help us. But to answer your question, I mean, we're prepared to handle a flash crash. I mean, when it really comes down to it, we have seen crashes with crypto. We've seen crashes with certain markets in the past, and ultimately, when it comes down to it, is when we do see a vulnerability or a huge risk to our business, kind of like crypto with the funded accounts. We do have to take sometimes extreme measures to help limit our risk. And at the end of the day, it's kind of, we don't know what's going to come. I mean, Matt said this before. We really don't know how the market is going to react. The market's a bear. Like, it's out of our control. This market, it's really crazy. So all we can do is be ready. I mean, if there's a situation, we have to have the best processes in place from a risk, from a support, from an operations perspective, so we can immediately go into, if there is some sort of crisis management situation, and we can lever whatever tools that we have in order to mitigate the risks to those situations. So again, it just comes down to our leadership team having the systems in place, our employees having the procedures in place to go to reference when things like this happen, and ultimately it's something that we're going to pay very close attention to if it does happen. So to answer your question, I mean, Matt knows this. Whatever happens, I'm confident that we're going to be able to handle this. Let's see this. All right, so we're going to answer two more questions. I like this question. Are there any plans to partner with payment companies like Afterpay for low budget traders who have skills to pass the challenge and join TFT? We're not going to be integrating Afterpay. What Afterpay is you could pay like 4 payments of whatever in order to get the challenge. We're not going to be integrating Afterpay. What I will say, guys, is it's a mission to get approved with payment processors for this company. I mean, you see a lot of brokers, barely have debit credit available, and just because the FX industry is labeled as extremely high risk processing. So again, it's a mission to get approved for payment processing. We've been able to form some great relationships to get our payment processing situation under control, and some great systems, which we don't even really discuss on here much, but some great systems to mitigate issues with payment processing and stuff like that. Don't believe we're going to consider doing Afterpay, but there are some things in the pipeline. For example, the new crypto provider we're working with, they've made it available that they could do like debit cards, so people have wallets with them. They could transfer from their TFT account to their crypto wallets, and then they can have debit cards from those wallets, and then they can withdraw and use those wallets to make purchases and stuff. I know some people would be interested. It would be cool if our logo was on the debit cards too. Just saying. But that's something that we're considering as well. It's just not something that's a extremely high priority for us. Yeah. So Joseph Caruso, you said, how about unpopular request? How about lower leverage across all accounts to help fight against over leveraging? At the end of the day, Joseph, the lower the leverage, the more responsible you'll be with trading. People really know this. It's actually better for us. It's better for you guys to have lower leverage because less people would most likely fail. And for us, it'd just be better because we'd be able to match, whatever. So it's like an interesting idea. Obviously people want more leverage. They want to be able to run up accounts and stuff like that. So it's kind of it is a very unpopular request, in my opinion, and that just is what it is. But that's why we're offering the swing, the regular, the royal. We're offering different programs. So whatever your appetite is, whatever your risk appetite is, make sure to make that selection. All right, so last question here. Let's see. All right, we're going to do 2 questions. We have one, are you flying out more traders for the event? And then do you see any other questions that you want answered, Matt?
This one keeps coming up, and I think it'll be pretty cool.
This freaking question, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I see this like once a day. Someone just said it again. I can't.
Yeah, it just keeps popping up.
Yeah, it's wild. All right, so question 1: are you flying out more traders later? I don't know what that means. Are you flying out more traders? We'll leave it at that. For the scavenger hunt, we are going to be flying out, like, I think 2 of them will be flown out, but the other ones are actually in NYC. So they're just going to be traveling locally for the event. And then have you considered deal? We're already starting to onboard some clients on the deal. So it's kind of like an internal process. We're transitioning some of our brokerage activities offshore to an offshore entity. So some of our funded traders have already been transitioned offshore to work with that entity. So those traders are already getting paid out on deal. All right, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we went through about 10, 12 questions, whatever, maybe 15. So that's pretty much it for the Q&A, guys. Giveaway. So if you guys posted a question, if you posted an IG story, you guys qualify for the 200K giveaway. That's pretty much it for the community webinar. We covered so much. How long were we on here? An hour and 45 minutes?
An hour 45.
Oh my God, bless our souls. Well,
we got a big day too. We got a lot going on.
Oh my God. All right. Well, we did this for you guys. Hope you guys appreciate us taking the time to go through and do the webinar. Thanks to Matt for putting together the presentation. And if you guys have any questions, anything like that, feel free to reach out to us. Really appreciate all of your guys' support. If you're rewatching this, make sure to like and subscribe. And subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys want the truth about prop firms. When we have 10K subscribers, we're going to drop the video. So thanks again, guys. And we'll chat with you guys soon.